Hey guys, it's Caden. Welcome to another episode of Get Prepped Podcast, where we talk with voice actors, nonprofit leaders, and business owners that are going to be in the new game, Get Prepped. Today we have one of our newer voice actresses. You might know her from Social Distance. She is Christy Harst. Thanks for coming on, Christy.
Hi, thank you for having me.
All right, my first question for you is, how did you get into voice acting?
That's a great question. I actually didn't want to be a voice actor. It was nothing that I had actually planned. I wanted to be a TV news reporter. And so I majored in TV broadcasting in college, and I had lots of internships in college. And it actually wasn't until my second job after college that I realized, listening to the radio in the car on the way to and from work, that I could do a better job than all of the people I was listening to on all the commercials. So I got an agent and I started doing voiceover work, but mostly a lot of on-camera work at first. And that's kind of how it started.
That's definitely a unique way to get into voice acting. I'm into broadcasting myself. Oh, in a way, it's kind of like acting.
Kind
the
of,
next
yeah.
question for you is, what was your favorite role to take on over the course of your voice acting career?
Wow. So I would say I failed miserably at it, but there was a client of mine who asked me if I could voice 3 different chickens. And I had never done any type of character work. That's not the kind of work or genre I work in. And I wouldn't say it was awesome, but it was so much fun.
That definitely sounds fun. Free chicken is definitely unique. What was the project or the story about?
So it was an egg company and they produced eggs. And so they wanted to do this kind of storyline between 3 different chickens talking, like gossiping and stuff, and acting as if they were like in high school, almost like there's teenagers with different cliques and different groups. And so I had to have 3 distinct voices, because as they walked around and ate grass and ate whatever they wanted, because they weren't in like a typical shed all packed together, they were out roaming a free life. Their focus was to try and show that these chickens, have a life outside of producing eggs. So it was really fun.
That definitely sounds fun. My next question for you is, what's something you've learned over the course of your voice acting career that you wish you knew when you first started?
I wish I knew a long, long time ago that you don't have to be somebody else. You just need to be yourself. I think that in every script that you audition is an opportunity to bring something unique from your life experience. And if you don't take that opportunity, you're not making yourself different, and you're not making it so you stand out to the person who's potentially hiring. And sometimes what you bring to the script, what makes it different, isn't what they're looking for. But that's okay. That's fine. Because the only thing you can do is bring yourself. And the more comfortable you are with yourself, the easier that is to do. So I wish I was more comfortable with myself when I was younger. I wish that I was more confident and had a higher self-esteem. And I wish that I would have put more of me into all of the auditions that I've done.
That's definitely a great lesson. It's straight to the point. Just because you're reading a script doesn't mean you're a different person. It's that simple. My next question for you is, what's a funny or challenging in the booth moment that you can share with us?
There's lots. There was one time I was pregnant with my first child, and I was 9 months pregnant. I was due any day, and I had to go in and do a long form narration, and I hadn't eaten. And so my baby was kicking, and it was to the point where I felt like I was having contractions. And so I was trying to have to read and breathe through these like contraction pains. There was another time where, I was reading a 50 or 60 page script on how to send a fax, how to answer a phone, how to do very clerical things. And the client's budget only allowed for a certain amount of time. So I had to get it done. And I couldn't feel my lips by the time I was done. I even said to the audio engineer, I'm like, I can't feel my lips right now. I'm not talking. And they're like, you got to push through. You got to push through. And it was painful, but I definitely remember it because it was one of those moments where you just have to produce. You have to, and you have to keep talking no matter how numb your lips are.
Most definitely sound challenging. My last question for you is, if you could voice any character, past or present, who would it be and why?
I was actually, it's funny how the universe works. I was scrolling through my feed on social media this morning, and there was a clip from the movie Bolt. Do you remember that movie? It's about a white dog.
Yeah, I've heard of it. John Travolta, right?
Yes. So John Travolta was the voice of Bolt, and then Miley Cyrus was the voice of something else, and then there was a cat. But along their travels, and I won't give away the movie for those who haven't watched, it's an animated feature film. They stumble upon this trailer park where people are like the traveling trailer parks, like, motorhomes where people park and they sit in the woods and for a couple of days and then they move. Well, they stumble upon this hamster in a ball. And this hamster is absolutely hilarious. I wish I could voice a role like the one that the hamster had. And what's interesting is I went and researched who voices that hamster, and you'll never believe who voices it because you've never heard of them. Why? Because he was the scratch track guy. So he's the guy that was employed by the production house or the audio engineer house that would just take a script and scratch track it just so that people could get a baseline of interaction between characters. But he did such a good job that they ended up hiring him for the role. How amazing is that? So that gives me that, if you go back and watch that movie with that in mind, that he was originally doing this as just a scratch track, as an employee of a company, just to fill in until they found a quote real actor. Think about that. He went in there and just had fun. He had fun. He put his own personality into it, his own take on it, and they ended up hiring him. And I think he stole the show.
I absolutely agree. Anyways, that's going to do it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much to Christy for coming on and sharing her story. If you guys want to see more amazing interviews with those involved in Get Prepped, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the Get Prepped channel. And to learn more about the game, scan the QR code here. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.